everyone, and welcome to Trader Talks. We're here in the advanced room. I'm guessing that you see something a little bit different today. We switched roles. This is a Trader Talks special, so we had the idea to interview the host of Trader Talks, Gil Paz. So it's a pleasure to have the opportunity to interview you, Gil. Before proceeding to anything else, hello, how are you doing?
I'm doing very good, and I'm very excited actually to changing the roles to from being host to be interviewed. And I'm especially happy to do it with you because we had in the past our trading session together. So I think this is a beautiful continuation.
It is actually, and I was also really excited to have this interview because we had this session, Learn It Live back at the time, which by the way, I learned a lot from this session and it's ideal for beginner traders. So for everyone who is watching right now, make sure that you check the schedule and whenever you find a Learn It Live session, make sure that you turn into. Um, that you tune in actually. So yes, I learned a lot from there, and I know a little bit more regarding your background as a trader and regarding how you trade. I had the opportunity to see you actually trade, so I think that it's really interesting to share these things with the viewers in actually yes in another format like Trader Talks right now. Um,
Absolutely.
Before we proceed with our interview, I would like to invite, of course, everyone to join us in our chat room. Feel free, log in and then just leave us your message in the chat room. If you have any questions for Gil, make sure that you write it there. We're going to check the chat room regularly. And of course, we will answer all of your questions. Now, if you're ready, we can start the interview. And I was thinking to start to take you a little bit back at the time. And I wanted to know, and I'm sure that everyone is interested to know how everything started, um, what is actually your background and how you ended up as a professional trader.
Oh wow, this is going really really back because we go into the previous millennium to start. I'm a little bit older already, so I tell you the truth. I started to be interested in the stock market after I read an interview about a trader that traded on Wall Street in the 80s.
Okay.
And I read this article as a boy, and they say the life expectancy of those traders is not very big because they're in huge stress and many die of heart attacks, and because the stress is so high. And I thought, and actually this threw me in. I didn't thought this wasn't like make me afraid. I thought, oh wow, this is really exciting. Like this is like a lot of action. And again, I was a teenager. I didn't have the confidence to pursue a career at the time then. So at 16, when I was 16, I started to do an apprenticeship for architecture.
Okay.
And and I studied architecture and not trading and not finance, even though this was the dream. I just didn't have the self-confidence to go for my dream. And it took many, many years until by mistake I got into the financial world. But maybe, yeah, I go a little bit back. And so I studied architecture. And because I felt like, and this is what I was also taught, I have to have a good profession. And I never really enjoyed it because the final test was I I I had like a final work to do, and this takes normally half a year to do the work, but I was lazy and I tried to do everything in 1 month. And I think in this whole month I didn't slept more than 2 hours per night to get to my
A lot. That's a lot of stress. And of course, it's similar to the trading.
yes, you could say that it's similar to stress, but for me it was too much stress. Like after I finished the exams and I got my license to work in architecture, I was already burned out. So before I really started, I already was burned out, and I worked as an architecture and town planner for 2 years. I never really enjoyed it. And then I remembered back that I want to go into finance, but I was in real estate. So it took me a couple of years. I quit my job in architecture and town planning, and I went for real estate investments. So I felt like this is the bridge that will bring me maybe into the investment world. And I did so then. In 2007, I started my own company with a partner, and we failed terribly in 2009 when the financial crash happened and subprime and everything went down, and we went down with the whole market. And this is terrible. To fail a company is not a nice experience, but every experience brings you forward if you take it positively. I didn't want to go into depression after the failure, and I took the first job that I got. And by mistake or not by mistake, I found a job at a brokerage like XM, and I started there in support in the beginning. And I thought I do this job for 2-3 months until I get back on my feet, and then I will go back to real estate investments because that's my expertise. Mm-hmm. Now, in these 2-3 months, I started to get in love with trading. Even though I did only support, but I could see all those traders. I could see thousands of traders, and I could see this very exciting world of trading. And I continued to stay there, and I continued to research about trading, and I was talking to many traders, and I could see, because the company had thousands of trader clients, mm-hmm. I could see many traders losing, but I could see also those who are winning. And I got really interested into seeing what makes a winner trader. What is different?
So you did all the steps in a way. You learned everything. You learned all the background of trading before you actually start placing orders, before you started being a trader yourself. And absolutely. I think that we can talk a little bit about that, because this is something that we always, and I hear other experts also say to beginner traders especially, that it's important to learn everything around trading and not be, not move fast, learn slowly everything, feel confident and comfortable with every little aspect of trading, the technicalities, how things work, and then start placing your own orders in the market. So, what is your experience in that? Did it take you long?
Look, I have to add something. Already in the 90s, I said my dream was finance, but I was always afraid. But I already started with investing. Like I started to listen to CNN Finance and Bloomberg already in the end of the 90s. And I've been an investor, but not a trader at all. Now, when I started with trading, it took me a couple of years to become successful. But look, my advantage at the time was there wasn't any service like XM Live where experts show you how they trade. I had to learn by myself. And I was watching a lot of YouTube, but those YouTubes, there were many mistakes also in the YouTubes. If you have an expert that is not really an expert, he can teach you actually false things that can take you more time to fix it than when you wouldn't hear it at all.
Yeah.
And so I had a lot of trial and error. But again, what I was lucky that I knew which traders are successful. There is many people, especially in social media, they say they are successful, but they are not.
course, there's always a lie behind,
Yes.
really fancy things and situations. There's always a lie there. It's not the whole truth, at least.
Absolutely. Instagram, you see only the beautiful life, only beautiful places, only beautiful people,
That's true.
and that's not the real life, right? And in trading, it's exactly the same. So my luck was because I was working in a company and because I could see the successful traders, I could talk to them in customer service, and I could see main differences to not successful traders. And I say a couple of things. Maybe this is interesting for everybody. What is the difference from a successful trader of a non-successful? The successful trader has on one side a lot of self-confidence. He knows who he is, but not over self-confidence.
Hmm.
Like traders who are not really successful, but they try to sell it. They say trading is very easy. I make everyday money. It starts to be boring for me. It's so easy. Those are sentences of people who don't understand trading.
Hmm.
Real traders, they know what they do, but they're always also a little bit afraid because they know how hard it is. And they say, you know what? I hope I will continue to be successful. There is a certain humility or
Yes, they're
humbleness
humble.
in the
Yes,
characters.
exactly.
So with everyone.
Hmm.
The second thing I saw is that there is hundreds of different approaches how to make money. Actually, the strategy itself doesn't matter so much. So, for example, here at XM Life, we have different approaches as well. Like I use the COT report, Tarek is using the MACD, Nenad is using 88.6 Fibonacci, and we have all those different styles. But there is one thing that is in common with everybody. Everybody is a good risk manager.
Hmm.
Risk management is really, really important.
Exactly.
And successful traders look first on the loss that is possible and not on the profits. Like a newbie, he wants to be rich fast. So he dreams about his millions and he thinks that he can be in 1 month a millionaire. And he don't think at the downside risk. But a professional trader, he thinks first at the downside risk, and with thinking at the down risk, he becomes a millionaire. So that's
Exactly. That's really important what you said there because being humble, of course, it means practically that a trader is being also transparent and he or she believes that failure is part of the game. So um, it's not something easy, of course, to admit for everyone, especially if someone is a professional trader trading every single day. But of course, it is something that everyone has to deal with. So it's really important, and I think it's really motivational for our traders, our viewers, actually, as well. And this is something that we promote a lot here in live education. That, of course, it is more than okay to make a wrong decision once in a while. But of course, learn from your mistakes, make sure that you not repeat these mistakes again, and it goes on.
yes.
So thank you for sharing these advice. I would like, since you mentioned about the different trading styles, and of course, we have a lot of traders here in live education. Every trader seems to have a different approach in trading. So maybe it would be interesting to let us know what is your trading style. We know, and people, of course, who are watching your sessions, that you're analyzing the COT report, but how you got there, how you started, and how you ended today picking the COT report as your basic tool in your trading strategy.
Yes. So the COT, the biggest influence is actually not the COT report of my strategy. The biggest influence I got from a trading strategy that is very known, and it's called the turtle trading strategy.
I remember this one.
You remember we talked about this, and I read a book about this, and this really made sense to me because I could see also this on the ground. Again, I was at the brokerage. I saw the performance of successful trader. And what is interesting, the performance of successful traders is not going in a straight line up, but it's going actually rather down, 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 and then they have a big profit. And then it goes down, 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 and then a big profit. And I was reading this book about the turtle traders. And by the way, for the viewers, there is free PDFs in the internet that you can read about this strategy. It's today not a secret strategy anymore. This was a project from the 80s, and the people who joined this project made all millions with this trading strategy. And after 10 years, they revealed the trading strategy to the public. But the interesting thing is that they make a lot of small losses and then they make home runs. A lot of small losses and home runs. And that's, by the way, a new trader, he doesn't want to do that. He wants to have all the time small profits. He's afraid to be more than 50% in losing trades. And so I understood this is the way to go. By the way, I also understood that day trading is not for me. I wasn't successful day trading. I tried it more than a year. And then also I saw the statistics, and I saw the most successful traders are actually not day trader, but swing trader. So I don't say that I'm the best trader in the world, or because I'm failing in being a day trader. I think day traders are the best traders in the world. But I belong to the successful traders, which is good enough, right?
It's more than good enough.
And so I do swing trading. I keep my trades for a couple of days or a couple of weeks open. I try to take bigger trends. And the COT report that, by the way, I started to study in already, I would say, in 2008-9, really from the beginning, it helps me to find the right direction. Or it helps me to find possible turnarounds in markets, because the COT report shows me where institutional money is putting their money.
Okay. Now, of course, trading, and I think that a lot of our viewers would have probably, or back when they started, would have the same question. Trading, of course, we know and we understand by now that it involves a lot of reading. Okay. So one who decides to start trading must dedicate a lot of time reading and checking the markets, what is happening, the situation around the economic world, and not only the political world also. How did you take the big decision to start learning all those different things? Because now that we have I'm asking that because now we have the internet and things seem to be a little bit more easy. People can tune into our live education, for example, or follow other traders or copy their trades also. Because people want to move fast and make fast their money. But what would you advise someone who is starting now?
So somebody who starts first, you don't have to be a rocket scientist. Actually, I think here you see a little bit for how do I have to put that. Part of my books, and this is only a very small part of my library, I like to read books, but in order to become a successful trader, you don't need to read books. You don't need to be a rocket scientist. Really, everybody can be successful. And what you need is an advantage. We call this an edge. You need something that you have a statistical advantage against the average. You have to be better than average. That's the final goal. The beautiful thing is you can find a niche where you are above average, and that's enough. You don't have to be above average with all your knowledge about the financial markets. You can find a small niche and you have to excel there. You have to be an expert, and that's it. And then you have to just repeat to do your thing. And so really, this is, I think it's an important message, because maybe over-educated people are not that good because they think too much of what could and should and might happen. And because of that, they become insecure and they don't take the big bets that you have
So
to
they
take.
overcomplicate things.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And you have to stick to something simple and dedicate your time from that. And I think, again, here at XM Life, you see this very good, that every expert has one simple thing where he is expert on. He's not expert on everything. Now, I personally, I'm very curious. And so I study, yes, finance, and I studied economics, but you really don't need this. It's just because my job is also my hobby. So I like to spend time with
Yeah,
it.
so it's not linked. Education is not linked to success. There are
No.
many different factors. Could we give some examples maybe of these niches that one could be really good? For example, could this be fundamentals or maybe one simple indicator?
Yes, both is right what you're saying. So for me, it's the COT report. So I have this report that I study for almost 2 decades, and I'm over average good in analyzing it. And this is why I make money with it. Again, it's just one simple tool. Now, again, I look at the fundamentals, um, and when there is a Fed meeting, I'm trading it based on fundamentals, but this is not my core. Um, I mentioned before, Darek, with him, I have a session, and Darek has one indicator, the MACD indicator, and he is an expert on it, and he's doing amazing, and that's enough. So he found his niche, and he's absolutely amazing in it. And that's what one needs. So it could be an indicator. It could be fundamentals. It could be, Frank is using the sentiment of XM. So on the website of XM, we have the XM sentiment where we can see how many are long and how many are short. And based on those ratios, he gets an edge. And that's in the end what you need.
Exactly.
And again, you don't need to be with an IQ of 140. Absolutely not.
Actually, regarding your COT report, we have a comment now from William in the chat room saying thank you to you, Gil. In fact, he says, I've learned a lot from a lot from him, especially the COT report. I think what is left for me is to build my confidence. And I'm doing this without missing any sessions, any Gil classes. That's amazing.
Absolutely true. Yes. William is really loyal and in every session here. And I think, William, you have a great chance to become very successful. And really, the confidence is an important part, because without confidence, you don't take big bets. But you are also, you have to be in this balance. And by the way, I fall also from time to time out of the balance. You have to be in this balance with high confidence, but not overconfident.
Yeah.
And it happens to me that I'm overconfident and then I start to lose. And it happened to me also that I have not enough confidence and then I'm losing as well. And I have to fight back to go to this thin line of being in balance.
Mm-hmm.
And I always say you're the perfect husband when you are a good trader, because, again, you have high confidence, but you're not overconfident. That's normally people also you like to be around with. So
Yes. Well, confidence comes with education. I mean, the most you learn about something that you want to be good at, the most confident you get at the end of the day.
absolutely true. Yes.
Okay, so that's really really interesting. Now, of course, this is maybe a question that you get to that you get asked a lot. But what would you say now, since now we're talking about your trading style and the way you trade every day, what is your day-to-day life as a trader? We know that you are a full-time professional trader. So, what is the life of a day-to-day professional trader?
So my main, and again, this has to do with my trading style. I would say if you have to ask this question, every expert will give you
Different.
another
Yeah.
answer. Yes. And the day trader has much more work than I have. But mine is following. I work most on Sundays.
Okay.
Yes. Why? Because I'm analyzing the COT report and I build for myself a trading plan for the whole week. This is how I work. So I go through all the markets. I look at the euro dollar, Japanese yen, British pound, but not only that, at the S&P 500, at the stock indices, at commodities. I look at the COT report, technical analysis and fundamental analysis, and I make myself a trading
Mhm.
plan. I would say I invest around 5 hours every Sunday for my weekly trading plan.
Okay, but you have your plan for the whole week, and things then should be at least easier.
Absolutely. So when the week starts, when the markets open, I'm already ready. So I said in order to be a successful trader, you have to be one step ahead. You have to be above average. So on Monday morning, when people start to work, I'm already one step ahead of
Mhm.
them. I'm already above average, right? Because I have a plan and I'm not reacting to the markets. I'm acting on the markets because I have a plan.
Okay, but
And
uh, what is
yes.
happening when, of course, we know that a lot of things can shape the market? Something that is happening outside, maybe a geopolitical event or something else, political tension maybe, can shape the market. How do you react on such sudden changes?
So, because I'm already prepared, I look at all the events that could happen and I create alternative scenarios. I play also in my head all the time alternative scenarios. So, for example, when we have a Fed meeting, I know the meeting is there, but I know that there could be surprises. So, I build scenarios of different outcomes that could come. So, what if the Fed is more hawkish than the market expect? What if the Fed is more dovish than the market expect? Which financial instruments should do well? And so again, this is everything has to do with planning. Now, when the week starts and I have a plan, what I do actually in the morning, the first thing in the morning, 10 minutes, I go through my possible long trades and possible short trades. So I'm during the week, I'm just like a hunter. This is how I see myself. I hunt pips,
Okay.
I hunt profits, and sometimes I don't have like a hunter, you sit in the forest and you wait that your prey comes in front of you, and sometimes it doesn't come. So I'm waiting and watching and looking until the market conditions are exactly as I planned. And only then I execute. But that's not a lot of work. So I do in the morning 10 minutes, and then before US markets open 10 minutes, and that's it. I put my orders in. And so you see during the week, so even though I work a lot on Sundays, 5 hours, during the week I have total freedom. By the way, if I could, if I didn't have that, I couldn't be an expert at XM Live, right? Because I would have to like deal with different trading accounts and stuff. But here I can advocate. Why can I advocate? Because I have the time during the
Yeah.
week.
So your preparation actually gives you the quality of life that you want to have.
Absolutely. So I pay for the Sunday afternoon, but I gain the whole week.
Yeah,
So,
that's actually that's great. Now, of course, I would like to bring us a little bit more to today. And I prepared a few questions regarding the current times. Now, of course, since we're talking about your trading style and how you react to market changes, different market conditions, um, and stuff, I wanted to ask you uh, if you had, let's say, an advice to give, or based on your personal opinion, of course, what would you say to a trader who would like to trade on actually during crisis? Crisis could be anything, as we said previously, geopolitical events, elections, political tension, anything that can shape the market. But also, it might actually, this crisis time might be a long time. So, how would you advise someone to trade during those times? Should we trade during crisis? We hear that this brings volatility in the markets, so this is opportunity for traders. But how can one approach it?
So my answer is it depends on the level of the trader. And I want to take here an example. For me, trading, if you look at technical analysis, you see a lot of waves, right? It goes up and it goes down, the markets, and up and down, and the markets behaves in waves. And the human being behaves in waves. It has fear and greed. They change each other, and it goes up and down, the human emotions. Um, and trading is like surfing on waves. So that's how I see it. Now, if you're a beginner trader, without waves, and waves stays for volatility in the market. And volatility means uncertainty. So if there is a lot of uncertainty, the market goes up very strong, up and down. So in order to trade, you need volatility, because otherwise, if it's flat, you can't make money. You need that it goes up or down. But as a beginner trader, you need small waves, right? And as you gain more and more experience, you can go into more stormy weather. And you will enjoy it, more stormy weather, because it's fun to trade on high waves if you can. If you can't, it can become dangerous. But when you can, you really start to enjoy them. Maybe you travel to Hawaii or Sri Lanka to enjoy these really huge waves because you're very experienced. But eventually, the waves can become so crazy that it's for everybody dangerous. Like I don't recommend anybody to trade on a tsunami, to surf on a tsunami. And the same is true also in the financial market. So I would say, if you're a very experienced trader, interest rate decision of the Fed, where you have high volatility, they're really, really fun. But for a beginner, he should sit on the sideline, and he should learn how are those waves, what is the behavior of those waves in those stormy weathers. So again, as more as experienced you get as a trader, as more you can trade also the high volatility of uncertainty.
Okay, so it comes with experience.
Yes.
And of course, Live Education and the other experts, of course, all of you are here to help during those times. Now, there's another thing that I'm really interested in hearing your opinion. What about actually? Let me put it this way: from time to time, a lot of different instruments arrive in the market, and maybe some new instruments, like some new cryptocurrencies, for example. How a professional trader reacts to all those different instruments that come. Um, Actually, when we talk about you, for example, are you curious to trade new instruments? Are you a little bit afraid? Are you watching it from a distance before you approach it? You wait to see what happens, or you're going to be one from the first, to try it?
That's a good question. So let's take Bitcoin. Um, I've been interested in Bitcoin since 2010. So since the very, very beginning, then I still worked at the brokerage. I wasn't self-employed at the time. It interested me. I didn't trade it so much because, again, new instruments, when we take again the waves of surfing, is very high volatility and very high waves. And so at the beginning in my trading career, I was touching only Forex. And with time, I added more and more products. So today, I love trading commodities a lot. I trade even stocks. Today, I really feel confident and trade also crypto. Now, the interesting thing about crypto, when something really disruptive is coming like crypto, is that nobody knows anything about it. Like if I want to trade Forex, I can read books and I find a lot of material. But if I want to trade, let's say, the altcoin Avalanche, there is no books about Avalanche. So, but again, this creates high opportunity, high risks, high opportunity. And what we are doing, this is maybe going a little bit now philosophical, but what we are doing is we are using the ineffectiveness of the markets to make money.
Yeah.
So if the market would be totally effective, you couldn't make money because everything would be logical and everything would be priced in. Everything. That would be the perfect world. And in a perfect world, we can't make money because everything is priced in perfect.
Yeah.
But, right, the mispricing, the things that things are not okay, this is what will let us make money. And so new products, disruptive products, there is a lot of mistakes there. And again, there is a lot of opportunity, but also a lot of risks.
I'm asking this because now we hear here and there that Trump, of course, is interested in launching, if I could put it this way, a new cryptocurrency. And a lot of people are kind of skeptical about that. Others are really excited, though. It depends on the trader.
Yes.
How are you feeling about this news?
No, I think in the end, what trading taught me and life in general is that you need just one home run in your life. You know, people who don't try things, they will never be successful because they will be always afraid to try something. So you have to try something. A person who bought just out of curiosity 1,000 Bitcoins in 2010, he would have today 100 million. So that would be the only trade he needed in his life, right? And again, the person who invested 1998 in Amazon, that's the only thing he needed. He needed to put $100 in Amazon. He would be a millionaire today. And so again, I think we should see those things. We can be skeptic about it, but sometimes we have to take our chances.
I really like this advice. I think in every aspect of life, it can.
In every aspect, you have to take your chances. You're allowed to do mistakes. And again, if what is forbidden to take the mistake is so big that it will destroy you. So never take all your money and put it on one thing, and then when it doesn't work, it destroys you. But put some bets in there. Try, and again, what you are saying also in real life about studying, about traveling, about dreams that we have, we should exploit them. And maybe there will be a home run, right?
Exactly. Who knows what life can bring?
Exactly. And so this is how I think about new things that are coming out.
Well, thank you for this advice. Actually, really, it's really motivational. and it applies in every aspect in life. Before, of course, we have a few minutes left for our interview, and I think it's a good time to actually see our chat room. We have William, of course, there, and Anna has tuned in. So thank you, everyone, for joining. Well, William says, Gil, he has a question for you. What was the last thing you remember you did in your trading career that you think has worked for you, and that has changed you from a losing to a profitable trader?
So again, I can say the first time what made me from a losing trader to a profitable trader was this idea of those home runs. Again, of these one investments that you have to have per year that will make you a successful trader. Or again, if you invested in Bitcoin in 2010, that's enough. You don't have to do anything more in life, money-wise at least. But this idea of going for home runs and not for small profits, that's the first thing that started to make me profitable. Now in 2016, 17, I had a crisis in trading. And for over 9 months, I wasn't successful. And I already thought that maybe I lost it. Like many traders, they're successful 2-3 years, and then they don't have the power to reinvent themselves again. And I saw that I was at this point, but I was fighting, and I changed my trading strategy to a more flexible trading strategy. So I understood that market condition changed, and I had to realize that I have to be flexible enough to react on market conditions changing. And so this was a very painful period. By the way, I was so afraid that I lost it that I started to be a portfolio manager. So I went to school again, and I started to study portfolio management, and I thought I will be an investor and will invest for other people, and I can't be a trader anymore. Successful, with luck, I again gained
Your confidence back.
my confidence I gained back, and my profits came back, and I never had to be a portfolio manager, even though I finished all the tests. And I learned some interesting things with it. So again, the first thing I would say is home runs is better than a lot of small profits. And the second thing, be flexible enough when market conditions change that you can change.
Exactly. So what is really, really interesting, and what I understand from the whole interview, now that we're reaching the end of the interview, is that you, from the very beginning of your life, you had your dream, you had your goal there, and you tried to approach it with many different ways. And whenever you went out of your path, then you find a way and you get back to it again. So it's never too late for anyone to start things or to follow their dreams. There's always a chance, there's always an opportunity, but of course, everyone should make sure to, of course, educate the best possible way, learn a lot, gain confidence, and of course, things will run hopefully smoothly for everyone's dream.
And take some
And
risks.
take some risks, exactly. Now, if I had one last question, maybe a really simple one would be, what do you enjoy trading? What is your favorite instrument?
I don't have a favorite instrument. It changes from time to time. There are times I love trading gold. There is other times I love to trading indices, or forex, commodities. It really changed from time. But what I really enjoy is getting up every morning and try to beat the market. For me, this is like a game.
Okay.
And if I make money or not make money, it's it just shows if I'm winning the game. So I feel really challenged every morning. And again, I was in real estate investments and in architecture before. And in the end, with all those jobs that I had before, I get into a routine and it starts to be boring to do the same things again and again. But in trading, there is every morning is new challenges. It never gets boring. And so this is what I most enjoy. The challenge to beat the market again and again every day.
Yeah, actually, it seems really interesting to do and also difficult to do to beat the market. Uh, what exactly it means to beat the market, to make the right decision?
Not always the right decision, but to make money.
Okay.
Beat the market again. That immediately when you make money, you're better than average. And that's for me beating the markets. So as soon as you make money, you're beating the markets. And that's that's it. That's already enough. And this is not easy. Again, it seems like easy. Like people think in the beginning, it's a 50-50% chance, or it goes low, it goes up, or it goes down, right? That's the two possibilities. But it's not easy, I tell you.
Definitely.
It-
It doesn't
and
seem
uh,
easy.
and and the, yeah, but that's the beautiful thing about it. So you get up, you have your fight. I enjoy it every moment, and yeah, I hope. I hope also in my sessions that I can bring over those joy and those excitement about trading, and because I really love what I'm doing. So for me, this is not a job that I have. I have my hobby, and I make money from my hobby, and I have totally freedom during the week. Sunday less, but during the week I have totally freedom to be extremely flexible of what I'm
That's
doing.
amazing. I think that's the ultimate goal, not only in trading, but in every profession. But of course, in trading, it's a little bit different for all the different things that we discussed today. I think, however, um, that you shared these with the viewers, and we have the comments there to reassure me about that. But of course, we can see it since you have your regular viewers, people tuning into your sessions, learning things, and become better traders at the end of the day. So that's a really big success. Now, of course, we reached the end of our interview. I had a great time. I think that we learned a lot from you, not only from for your background, but your background was the inspiration for all for the rest of the interview and for the advices that came out. So I don't know if you have anything else to share with us, with the viewers, if you would like to say anything else.
Actually, not really. I really enjoyed it as well. Thank you so much for the great questions. Always a pleasure to have a session with you. And yeah, looking forward for further ones in the
Of
future.
course, we will have more of these. Thank you, Gil, for being here in Trader Talks and for having this interview with me today. Thanks, everyone, for joining. Stay tuned because we have a lot of things throughout the day, a lot of different sessions. Also, check the other rooms, the XM Live room and the beginner room. It depends on the level of trading that you are currently. Leave us your comments, and of course, we will talk again soon. Bye bye for now.
Bye bye.